The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of RMCOnAir.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
See what you go through. Put my lighter in the air. The truth is you're beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now put your lighter in the air for us.
What's up, Just Sports with Sonny Wells? Welcome. The crew is here. Sound off, fellas.
Smitty's in the house.
The one and only Big Feet. Yes.
D. Rambo.
All right. Pierre Daniel.
Yeah. Okay. So first up, NBA. Yeah, you know. Bye-bye, Houston. I don't know about. We was talking earlier.
Yeah.
And without the headphones, seems like I'm talking louder though, huh?
No, you sound good.
Should we blame that? Should we blame that on the engineer?
Chris got a handle on it.
Oh, okay, Chris. You got it, Chris? I'm not over-modulating? You good? Looking like...
So be serious.
Man. So, look, you guys are asking me Golden State or LeBron.
Yeah.
Now it looks like LeBron.
I agree with you.
Yeah, those guys got hurt, man.
You see, I turned over.
Yeah, right.
They got hurt, so I don't know how quick Klay Thompson can come back because they're just going to, little Curry, they're just going to manhandle him. They're just going to, you know, Klay's usually there to fill the gap. But, you know, he got kneed upside the head. We got that clip? Okay, in a second.
You got two first-time NBA coaches, so it's not like Phil Jackson is in the finals, you know, versus Pop. You know, so that's interesting. You know, it's the players that really got them there.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's been stated that LeBron is the coach of the Cavaliers. So
he's on a serious mission.
Yeah, he wears that hat too. Yeah,
he's running things. So I just feel LeBron is on a mission.
Yeah,
and you know, he's going to do it for Cleveland. He's going to do it for himself. He's going to do it for his boys. He's going to show the world that he's the boss. I mean, let Curry have the MVP. But LeBron is the MVP of the playoffs.
Well, we can knight him right now, I guess, huh?
I don't know about that.
Right.
You know, someone was saying before we play that clip, someone was saying that if LeBron goes too hard and tries to do too much, he may alienate his team. What'd you think about that, Feats? You've been there.
What, I got to tell you, man, he has proven that he has been a consummate motivator this season. He's taken more with guys that haven't been able to do anything without him. You know, so I can't underestimate his ability, man, to get his guys involved. And I don't see him as a selfish player. I don't see him changing.
Okay.
You know, but that don't mean he's gonna win.
Go ahead, man. All right, yeah, I agree. That don't mean he's gonna win. LeBron, he's fine. That's great. LeBron will be LeBron. But can his helpmates help give him enough help?
Yeah.
Because since you said this is LeBron's and whoever else comes along, which is, to me, this is LeBron's team, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. If he has his helpmates come along, and if LeBron doesn't digress back to a couple of LeBrons we know previously, give him a shot. I'm not saying he's going to win. I say he has a pretty good shot. But I feel it's going to be interesting, even with Thompson out. I personally think Thompson's going to play Thursday. I think he had a pretty good chance of playing Thursday.
So there's enough time in between now.
It's
and
enough
then
time.
to
He
heal
didn't
up.
flunk that test tremendously, and if he doesn't have all the symptoms that goes along with a concussion, and if they prove steadily by Thursday, and at this magnitude right now, I think he's pretty sure he's going to be a go. That being said, Mr. Curry is going to need him.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to need him. I don't think it's so much as Curry going to offset LeBron. I think that's other offset involving Mr. LeBron.
Yeah.
And but it's going to be some interesting matchups. And the key is, like you said, they got two first-year coaches, and I don't even think it's going to be so much as the coaches. I think it'll be so much as the players realizing what they need to do.
I will say this, though. The brief time I was with the Lakers, the motivator was Jerry West, because Jerry West used to come in the locker room, and he had this persona, man, where it wasn't about Jerry. He was like, "Oh, Dr. Buss is on me," and this and that. You felt so bad for Jerry. You're going to run through a wall. He's like, "Oh man, we can't let Jerry be upset, man." You know, he never pushed you and said, "Man, I need this for this." He wasn't gung ho like that. It was just like he just had a way, man, of bringing the best out of you, and that's an influence. You know, we haven't really seen his fingerprints because he's always in the shadows. Cleveland doesn't have anybody like that. You know, when you really think about what Jerry has been able to do with the Lakers and Memphis and Golden State, you know, he's not, mum's the word. He's really going to be a motivating factor for Cleveland, and I just got to say that.
So go ahead, Pierre.
Well, isn't Jerry? He's
part owner
of Golden State.
Yeah, he's part owner. Okay, he's got 3% of the team.
Put maybe a couple of fingers on this thing.
Yeah, he's got his blueprints on this. You know, you got the logo.
Well, first of all, if the Lakers would have held on to Jerry like they should have done a long time ago and gave him partial ownership, then the Lakers would probably be in where Golden State is now. Golden State might be where the Lakers are right now. Number one. Number two, you look at the fact that Golden State, they're in the position that they haven't been in the last 40 years. I mean, they won the championship in 1975 with Keith Wilkes, Jamal Wilkes, Al Addles, Rick Barry, on and on with that team. But having said all of that, when you're looking at the best player, in my opinion, is LeBron James.
Yes.
Against that team, Golden State, most of the time you would go with the best player. Even though Golden State's player for player is better than Cleveland, it seemed like Cleveland definitely has almost like a team of destiny. I mean, considering the fact that they've, and the way they skated through Boston and then Chicago and that Atlanta series, man, I was kind of wondering
a team of destiny.
He went back to hold on now. He went back to Cleveland, and you're looking at most people wouldn't even consider taking that step. Going back home, but that's what he did. And on top of that, you look at the fact that
you find that's amazing. That's LeBron James' plan.
Well, his plan?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I think he planned it all.
I don't know about his plan. But at any rate, that team that they played against Atlanta, man, I mean that Atlanta squad almost looked like a D-League team. I'm looking at that squad.
Well, that don't say too much about Cleveland, Atlanta.
But my point is the way he still dominated the series, but the competition.
He dominated the East.
Well, he's dominated the league. Think about it. He should have been the league MVP. You don't think so?
No.
He took 2 weeks off, and after all that turmoil at the beginning of the season, he stepped up his game, and Cleveland's been basically playing the best out of any team after the last month and a half of the NBA.
I still say no.
Yeah.
Curry's been balling in the playoffs too, man.
Yeah, he has. Hey, let's take a look at those clips that probably everyone's seen. But let's take a look at those clips. What we got coming up, Chris?
Thompson draws the foul on Ariza, got hit in the head, and Thompson shaken up. As Ariza picks up his fifth, Thompson's head fake here gets Ariza up. Oh, wow.
Man, look at this.
The direct
Man, he got
hit
up.
on the right temple area of Klay Thompson.
One more time.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, you can see why that's a concussion.
But definitely in the temple, you there.
That hurts.
Excuse me. Also, I want to give definitely a lot of credit to Smitty. He called Cleveland at the very beginning.
I'm trying to
He
tell you.
didn't bite his tongue on that. He said Cleveland all the way.
Yeah.
Cleveland all the way.
When you look at the matchup, and for me, just going to the center position, what's Cleveland's center name? Moskov. Yeah. I think he's going to outplay Golden State center.
And you were saying that,
Vogins.
saying that even when you thought that Love and Irving was going to be, 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's true. That's taking consideration that Love is out for the remainder of the season.
JR has stepped his game
is probably
up.
like about 40%.
Yeah.
You know?
J.R. Smith has stepped his game up, and Shumpert has stepped his game up. They play defense, they rebound, but LeBron is on a mission. But I'll say this: the only edge that I'll give Golden State is Steve Kerr. He's a champion, and he's been an analyst, which means, in my mind, that he's set and he's dissected the game. And he's probably going to try and formulate a game plan to nullify 2 or 3 of Cleveland's best players.
And
Now-
it's ironic that he took that Golden State job, because rumors had it all the while around the same time last year that he was going to take the New York job.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like he did an about face and decided to take that Golden State job.
He went with a winning program. Yeah.
Well, that's the
Well,
first
you know,
time he
Mark,
showed he
didn't
can
Mark
make good
Jackson set
decisions.
that up?
Well, he
Bad
gets a lot of
one.
credit. They acknowledge that. He put the team together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Steve Kerr got him over the hump. You know,
Steve
so-
Kerr is a champion. He's been on championship teams, and big feats. You know, you can attest to this, that when you have someone who's been there in your camp, everybody kind of leans to him, or he should have a certain type of leadership to show the rest of the crew what it is they need to do, the mentality that they need to have to be able to be champions. Am I correct on that?
I mean, you know, they definitely have that there, man. And I think about, you know, it's just the city. You know, I got a lot of people from San Francisco and the Bay Area. I mean, those are rabid fans down there, man. And it's a whole new chapter for them, man. They're really supportive. That's not to say that Cleveland is, you know,
Right,
Cleveland is
right.
Cleveland.
Right.
But I mean, you know, it's just a good. It's just basketball is alive and well.
Well, yeah, it is. You know what?
Yes.
This has been the best series in a number of years
Yeah,
with the
exciting,
NBA.
Very exciting.
You know, the first few were all down the last second shots, and you know, really, really exciting to watch. I didn't fall asleep and wait till 2 minutes left in the fourth. You could watch the whole thing, and it's going back and forth. So it's really, really good basketball right now. Who's going to talk? Oh, we played the one clip. Do we have the other one? Let's play the Curry fall. Let's see that. I think these falls may come back to haunt them a little bit. What do you think, Feets?
Melendez, man. I mean,
Those guys are young, man. They're young.
they are young.
Yeah, that was a tough fall by Curry, though. Yeah. I mean,
Curry's, it wasn't that bad.
he wasn't.
Oh man, that's all.
You know the
Oh,
best
yes, it
thing
was.
about that fall, he felt the right way where he couldn't get.
Yeah, it wasn't
hurt
like it was
worse than
totally-
he was, because he fell on
Hand,
that.
then
Yeah, but when he came back, it's all on that upper shoulder.
Yeah, see,
the shoulder took a lot of the brunt of the fall.
His vertebrae was rattled in that situation.
yeah.
But you know what, man? These guys are in the era where they have hyperbolic chambers and trainers, and you know,
He did that. Oh, that saved him.
you know.
That really
back
saved
in my
him.
day, they gave you some Bengay and an aspirin.
You better get up.
That was it, man, and some ankle tape, and that was all you got.
So, Chris, do you have us all on record as to who's winning what? Yeah.
Oh, no, excuse me. If I
Go ahead, Pierre.
Get some right quick. Yeah, one more thing I will say that Cleveland might have the advantage in the series, because you have a player, a player who's been there. This is going on his 5th time in a row.
Yes.
He's been there. He's done that. I mean, Golden State is an excellent team. We know that. But none of those players have actually had that championship experience. LeBron's been there. It seems like he's living there now, almost like the great Magic Johnson and great Bill Russell. You know, time into year after year after year after year. So that
You
definitely
compare it, and
adds a
you
lot.
just
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying if you look at back to back to back to back. I mean, shoot, he's been in like 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
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 You know?
6.
I think it's 5.
LeBron 6. This is a 6th one.
This would be the
It's 5.
sixth.
I think it's
This
5.
will be 6 or 5.
6 championships in a row.
No, I don't think it's
5
not
in a row.
I think it's 5
5
in
in
a
a
row.
row.
6 times.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah,
it.
6 times, right, exactly. Because remember, he went up against San Antonio and lost 4 in a row. But, yeah, that was...
You know, it was a trip, man. It seems like a million years ago, but when Byron was with Cleveland, I was there helping him, scout and bringing in guys.
Yeah.
And I watched Tristan Thompson. If you would have asked me if he turned into the player you see today, you didn't see it coming. And I have to attribute that to LeBron, really.
Yeah.
He's just an inspiration. Like Jordan used to motivate guys and bring the best out of them.
Yeah.
I see LeBron doing that for the guys around him.
And that's going to be the determining factor.
That's what I mean by the
Who
experience.
can motivate who? I think both these teams are probably evenly matched. And with the exception of the concussions, and if they come out of those smelling like a rose, It's going to be tough on LeBron because this is going to be really, really exciting, really, really high energy. Both teams can run.
That's the point, because they're going to run. This is not, who's going to go in half court.
No, this is the running.
This is a track meet right here.
Yeah, this is definitely a track meet.
So it's X's and O's aren't going to factor into the equation.
Quick question, fellas.
What's the question?
Look at the screen really quick. What do these two injuries have in common?
Head injuries.
No.
Right side?
No. Look closer. Who's the offender in both of them?
Oh, Ariza? What you trying to say?
Is he a dirty player?
No.
None of that was intentional.
Wow, you know what?
Chris, the detective there.
Yeah, Detective Chris.
He dissected. Okay.
Yeah, well, so while he dissecting, let's dissect the break and get right back in here. Oh, who we got? Oh, the picks? Our picks? All the picks? He looks like he's especially recording this because he's going to put back. Right now, with the injuries, I say LeBron. Cleveland.
I'm rolling with LeBron in Cleveland.
I'm California to the day I die. I don't care. Cali.
Come on, man.
You got Golden State there.
I got to go. I'm going Cal.
You ain't know what you was going to do.
Jerry West, baby.
Yeah.
Jerry West gets another ring.
Come on, Historian.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to have to go with Cleveland. I'm going to have to go with Cleveland now.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So you got this, Chris, because I know you're going to play it back.
You, Chris?
Put that big red X on there.
You had. Okay, I want that on record that you switched.
Yeah,
Because you was preaching Golden State
all the way
up until now.
Yeah, because the thing about it is.
Okay, we'll be right back. Get right back into it.
Are you a diabetic? Need some energy? Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink is the healthiest, best-tasting energy drink around. For more information and online ordering with free shipping, please visit hiphopbev.com. Remember, Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, suitable for diabetics, great for everyone.
Tell me why.
I'll tell you why. Because if you look at that team last year, as opposed to the way it is now,
It don't make a difference. The East.
Yeah, but even in the East, though, bro. I mean, that team didn't make the playoffs. I mean, now look at
team make playoffs.
Yeah, but definitely Cleveland was one where they had plenty of. It seemed like every time around they get the number one pick in the draft.
Well,
and look at what they're doing with it.
With the Clippers, we got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, but that's been that.
I'm just trying to figure out everybody. If he wins it, I guess he's a great leader.
We're going to talk about the Clippers too, but
y'all still talking about the Clippers? Come on.
Yeah, the Clippers ended up being the Clippers.
We're going to talk about 18. Let's talk about the
Go ahead.
Clippers.
Let's talk about the Clippers. Then we go get the big feet.
Okay, first of all, a shout out to Sun Lady.
Sun Lady
for sure. All right, let me add a few points I want to make about the Clippers. I think that the Clippers, number one, they've had, by Clipper standards, another successful season. They made it to the second round of the playoffs. We know, for all probability, they should have actually made it to the Western Conference Finals, but they didn't. You look at the fact that they definitely need, at this time, to either move that team or, at minimum, move them out of the Staples Center. There's no reason they should be third tenant in the Staples Center, especially the way they're playing now. They have a new owner who's willing to spend money. He comes from Seattle. Seattle will be an excellent city for them to move to, but if they don't move to Seattle, at minimum have their own arena. It's definitely time for them to do that. I know they had a fan base to do it. I know so many Clipper fans are so sick and tired of going into the Staples Center and seeing all those Laker banners up there, this, that, and the other. And they sell out every game, and they've been selling out for the last several years. It's definitely the time for the Clippers to go ahead and number one, probably move to another city, because for all intents and purposes, it's going to take decades for them to step past the Lakers in terms of the market.
They already stepped past the Lakers.
No. Step past
the last 2 years they step right past us.
But that's what I'm saying. If they move to another city, particularly like Seattle, there's no question they should have their own arena.
I veto that. I disagree. I want to say right here. I don't want to go to another city.
I would say Anaheim. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely someplace.
Not Seattle.
But definitely not third tenant in their own building. You know, I mean, that's the only team in the NBA that's like that.
So you're saying
not their
no
own building,
longer
it's a
can the
building.
Clippers
No, it's
be in the shadows of the Lakers?
Yeah, and they are. They're still in the shadows. Still in the shadows.
Lakers
Yeah, I don't know
Well,
about
that's
that.
because of history. That's all.
Exactly, that's what I'm
history,
saying. They're
history
fighting history.
dictates that.
Right, and until they do better in the playoffs, which they haven't done, and the windows of opportunity close just as fast as they open,
Right.
you don't know what's going to happen next year with the team. You know what I'm saying?
Put it to you this way: the Clippers could never move into the Forum.
Nah, they couldn't do that.
Anaheim,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
definitely
Anaheim.
Seattle. Seattle would love them. There's a lot of cities around the country that would love to have an NBA team. You know, and with the new owner, you could be a big fish in a small pond as opposed to being here, and they would love the Clippers to death, as opposed to the Clippers, really, like say, third tenant in their own building.
They moved Seattle. I mean, is that stuck with the? Oh no.
I would like Seattle to have a team, but not the Clippers.
Not Clippers, man.
Hey,
Can't do that.
so look-
And there's another
do
thing.
that, P.
I don't like the name Clippers.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. They can change that.
The slave ship. That
History.
whole thing gets me.
Well, I can
man,
vote for
I've
changing the
never-
name. I'm good with that. Change the
Change the name, change the
So
colors.
let's
Change
change
in this town.
Oh, you're
let's
saying
just
that.
change up. Let's change up. We're gonna listen to Big Feets over. He's got a nice little presentation he showed me out there in the hallway. So take it away, Big Feets.
I'm writing a book, and we got the cover. You can throw it up there. The title of it is I, and the subtitle is The Most Interesting Man in the World. And what basically motivated me to do it is because I've just had so many real life experiences, man. I just felt that it would be beneficial to share them. And a lot of my buddies have just been, hammering me to get it done. And so, so what I did was, as I took a compilation of my best, ideas. If you can see the cover, those are all the table of contents up there. And it reads something like, I performed with Michael Jackson. I worked for Steven Spielberg. I played basketball with Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, Shaq, Magic, and Jordan. I lost a fight with Muhammad Ali about his being the greatest. In confidence, Ali argues that Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson and even Jack Johnson is greater than he is. But he was all about a PR campaign, him being ever so humble. I introduced Michael Jackson to Michael Jordan. I entertained Gulf War troops in between beheadings. I jogged the nude beaches of Monte Carlo with Prince Albert of Monaco. I dodged 3 bombings in France, a Navy base in Italy. It goes on and on like that, man.
Don't forget about the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
Oh, yeah, and I lost that one, too. But, when I was a little boy, Manny used to watch me play, and so that's eventful. When I got cut by the Lakers 17-5-05, I'm playing in front of 35,000 people in Araneta Coliseum. That's huge. Mm-hmm. That's unforgettable. And it's the same place as Thriller in Manila, I'll read a little bit of the introduction, and then, if you guys got any questions, I want to jump into it. There is an I in team. I learned that the hard way my rookie professional basketball season playing in Nantes, France in 1978. The French spell team Equipe, E-Q-U-I-P-E. I learned this as I was being escorted out of a resort that would not allow me to eat the traditional preseason or post-game dinner with both teams, or stay in the same hotel with my team. As the first African-American to play in the region of Champagne and Cognac, I'm proud to say that Jackie Robinson's example, my spiritual faith, gave me the resolve to become an unofficial U.S. and African-American ambassador that handled the situation with so much class and grace it even surprised me. It was deep to me in 1978, where I had learned that the land of France, where Josephine Baker was embraced, jazz musicians left and right, African Americans can go there, was a land of prosperity. Bessie Coleman, even the opera singers, and for me, to be hoisted up among my teammates and carried around the gym after my first game, and then an hour later, I'm being cussed out and ran out of the hotel because I'm not allowed to stay there, man, was a trip.
How old were you when that happened to you?
I was a young boy, man. I was just out of college, man. So I was about 21 years old. And it was a trip because I had got a job. We're in France, Champagne, Cognac. I'm like, wow, this is great. And because it was preseason, they were called match amical games, friendly matches. So they loved basketball so much, and me being the first American that they had, you know, it was like playing in the YMCA. Man, I dropped 60-something dude on a bunch of cats that just, you know, they're new to the game of basketball. They just love it.
Wow.
And so when it's over, we go to this resort. It's a winery. I mean, it's decked out. I'm like, man, this is, you know, I'm all in. You know, I'm like, this is cool. And I go into the hotel, and I go on the phone to call my mother because the team I play for is sponsored by a bank. And I'm telling my mom they have a partnership with Bank of America. So I'm like, Mom, I'm sending money home. The money will be there in the morning. Your baby got a job. I done good. They love me. They carry me around the gym. And I'm hearing all this commotion outside the door of the telephone booth. And I don't understand what it is, but I'm talking to my baby, blah, 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 blah. And I get off the phone with my mother, dude, and I come out there, man, and this woman is livid. And she's going off on my manager and my team. And the way that the restaurant was situated in the hotel lobby, you could look through like these windows that were sliding, and the whole team, both teams were lined up ready to eat. I mean, it was decked out. They had the bottles of wine and the pasties, French, you know, the wine with every meal. It was like an 8-course meal waiting for me, man, and I'm hungry. And I look down there, man, and my dearie Jean tells me, he says, he puts his head down, he said, man, you're not allowed to stay here. I said, come on, Vince, man, come on, man, what are you talking about, dude? He said, no, and the lady, she beat red. I said, man, what are you talking about? He said, you're not allowed to stay here, man, you know, because you're black. Wow. I'm like, what? And I turn and look at my team. It's a whole row of my squad and a whole row of, like, the team we play with. They all did like this.
Oh.
Down, dude.
Insane.
They all put their heads down, dude.
That's
and I'm
cold.
like, this is not a practical joke or nothing, man. This is real deal, man. And I'm thinking, and I'm looking at this woman, and I'm able to process that they're expecting me to go ape. And I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And then I'm also able to ascertain that I'm the first black American to play in this region. And if I go, whatever I do, it could stop or impede them importing African Americans for years to come, because they were already suspect about importing brothers to, abroad. And then two, it wasn't a black thing, it was also just an American basketball thing, because many teams didn't want professionalism. They didn't want Americans. There was a litany of reasons that they wanted it to be amateur, and so I had to represent myself, man, with the decorum and the maturity that, it's just like, I gotta eat this, man. And I'll never forget, man. Every time I told the story ever since, man, I'd always get chills and it would trip me out. And I'll never forget getting in the car and riding through all the vineyard, getting out to the main highway, and they put me in a Motel 6, and my meal was out the vending machine.
Oh, man.
And, I wanted to call my mother, but I couldn't, because I couldn't let her know.
Right.
I couldn't let anybody know that this happened to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then the next morning, when the bus came up, double-decker sweet bus pulls up. Actually, it wasn't double-decker, but it was a sweet bus. It pulls up. And I remember, man, I had my little, we carried our radios back then, and I had Evelyn Champagne King playing Shane.
Wow.
And I'm walking to the back of the bus, and my whole team, man, was like a tomb. They were all quiet. And I just got in the back, and it was what it was. And then finally, one of my teammates, I'll never forget, Patrick Deckhart. Patrick said, they were arguing. He said, Duan, I must apologize. I'm sorry. He says, for some of us, we love the game of basketball. We grew up playing it, and we started out in provincial division, and we rose and we rose and rose until we get to a professional division. Now we have to have an American in order to compete. And our boy is never going to play again because you're on the team, and a lot of people are upset about that. And we have jobs we go to every day, and you get to sleep all day long, and you make all the money, and
they went there with it.
So there's going to be a lot of, jealousy, and it's a little bit of, everybody trying to understand. So it's not just about the skin thing. And we really are upset, some of us. We're ashamed that we didn't stand up for you, last night. And so it was a good start. And so I'm not going to say that, I paved the way for the explosion that basketball happened. You know, when Robert Smith was here, he used to tell you Monaco used to come and practice in our spot, and not. We played on an island. Our gym was laid out. It was like a glass. It was the bomb, but we only had like about 800 people come to our games. Now they pack that sucker, man, like thousands of individuals. They lined around, and but that all came because I didn't set us back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I have to say, it must not just be me. There must be other isolated stories, but that one's mine, and that's just one chapter in my life, that kind of set the tone. That I digress. There is no I in team, but sometimes there is.
Wow, what a story!
So
Yeah,
you'll have that
we'll
story
look for that book
So
coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, once again, great show. Thanks so much for coming. We'll see you next week on Just Sports with Sonny Well.
What's your style? Curly, straight, wavy, or maybe you like it natural? Introducing Secret Styling Hair Care Products by Smith Products Company, LLC. A complete line of hair moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners, and an assortment of other hair styling aids formulated for today's fashion-conscious consumer. Enhance your style. Get the secret.